Hey everybody, Crow back, and I want to talk a little bit about a game I played recently called Oxenfree. This is on Steam, but I played the PS4 version. I actually got this through Limited Run Games, so I do have a physical copy of this. And I actually played this shortly after I played Firewatch, and I think that's important to mention because if you saw my video on Firewatch, you know that I kind of liked the game. But I was ultimately disappointed in the ending, and ultimately the whole game is pretty much a story. And that's what Oxenfree is too. It's basically just a story you play through. But I will say that Oxenfree is everything I hoped that Firewatch was and more. So in Oxenfree, you play the character of Alex, and all the characters in the game are pretty much teenage kids who are in high school age. And they have their own issues and problems and stuff. And usually that whole sort of thing would be a big turnoff to me, but what really gets me involved in this story is all the supernatural stuff. In Firewatch, I was kind of hoping there would be supernatural stuff, but in Oxenfree, that's its bread and butter of the whole story. Not only that, but I kind of had a complaint that in Firewatch, the choices you made ultimately didn't really make a difference in the end of the game, but it really does make a super big difference in Oxenfree. So the game, as I mentioned, you play a character called Alex, and you and your friends get together on this island. At night, the island is pretty much abandoned, and it's pretty much a tradition for high school students to get together one night a year and have a party on the beach pretty much and spend the night there. But this particular year, not too many people show up. I think 5 total, including yourself. And one of the things the kids like to do is to bring a radio and kind of tune into different frequencies and hear like weird stuff going on. And what winds up happening is you use the frequency and it opens up this rift, so to speak, and this whole supernatural element comes about. Everybody wakes up in various places on the island, can't remember what happened, and that's the game, is you walking around the map and trying to figure out, tuning your radio station, trying to communicate with these ghosts, supernatural elements, or whatever they are, seeing them possess people and everything. It's a really, really cool game, I gotta admit. And there's time travel involved to a certain extent. As you play through the game, you'll have options of saying different things, much like Firewatch. But in this game, your actions and your words really, really determine the fate of the other characters in the game. And it's really, really worth playing through multiple times. And in fact, I played this through 3 times myself, trying to find everything. There's still one achievement I haven't gotten in this game, and it's just to make everybody hate me. And I tried to do that during one of my playthroughs, and I guess it's just harder than I thought. But the whole story, I find, is just, it's really, really good, and it is really worth playing at least once. And I think once you play it through once, you'll want to play through it again. The only thing I don't really like about the game at first is the map that you're given to try and navigate. It's a little bit hard to navigate the whole map, and it actually took me until a second playthrough to actually get more used to what place goes to where on the map. And just for a reference, my first playthrough was about 4 hours, so it will take about 4 hours to play through the game, but it is definitely the type of game you'll want to play through more than once. And granted, I think there are some things that you will be unable to do the first playthrough of the game, that once you play through the second playthrough of the game, you'll have more knowledge about what has happened, and you'll be able to make more appropriate responses to those situations. But yeah, ultimately, this is a story-driven game. There is a bunch of exploration, although the map really isn't that big, but you walk around with your radio, try to communicate with the supernatural, and what's really nice is that even when you do start the game again from the beginning, the way the end of the game is laid out is that, without trying to give anything away, is that in the context of the story, it makes sense to relive those events again. And the things it does is just very, very clever. Again, this is a very story-driven game. There's really no way to lose it, but again, your actions during the game will help determine the fates of everybody involved, and I think it's just an awesome game. It's well worth a play. Now, like I said, I do have a limited physical copy of it that was on the PS4, but it is also available digitally on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One and on Steam. I think the price on all 3 is around $20. I think that might be a little bit too high, but if there's a sale, I would say definitely pick it up for $10 for sure. Maybe $20 isn't too bad of a price, but I'm kind of a cheapskate when it comes to digital games, so take that for what you will. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you all next time.
Cross your fingers. Clarissa?
Oh my god, you actually came. I mean, it did take you long enough, but still, good. I've been sitting, fumbling around with this stuff. I don't know how to work.
Are you alright?
I mean, yeah. Why? Yeah, sure, my hair might be a little weird, but...
You just sounded really distressed, that's all.
Well, I mean,